So hello Matrix Live viewers. Here is Belair to introduce Cross-Signing 101 in the classroom of the Matrix core team.
Okay, so hi everybody. So I'm going to explain Matrix cross-signing, I hope in a very simple way. So basically, what do you have to know? We have three keys. So there is the master key, the user signing key, and the self-signing key. So I will explain each of them. So the master key, so it's the master of all the keys. It is used to sign the other users, the other keys. Sorry, this is important. And it's also used to rotate the keys if they are compromised. So as you can see here, my master key is signing my user key and my self-signing key. So the user signing key, it's used to sign users. So it's a good name. So sign is the same thing as verify, and it will share it with my other session. That means that if I log into another device, I will see the people that I trust. So my user signing key signs Bob. Actually, it's Bob master key. And there is a self-signing key that is signing my devices. So it's not so much a good name. And this, I will share it with all other users. That means that all other users will see the device that I trust. So my self-signing key signs my device. So simply put, the master key sign keys, the user key sign users, and the self-signing key sign devices. So this, let me explain what is the trust chain. So basically, I can tell that I trust the device because I can verify a trust chain. So my master key signs my user key, and my user key signs Bob's master key, that signs Bob's self-signing key, that signs Bob device. So that's just that we are checking when displaying the green shield. So just a quick word about private and public key. So we are using private and public key. The public key is all that you need to verify signature. You only need the private part if you want to sign new thing. So if you want to verify a new user, you need the user key, user private key. And if you want to sign a new device, you need the self-signing key, private key. So now, just a quick deep dive on what's happening when I sign in on a new device. It won't be long, and after, it will be all. So basically, I will sign in my, let's say I download Riotix, and I enter my credential. So I will see on the server that I have 3 keys published, and now I have to decide if I trust them or not. So I can decide to trust by doing 2 things, whether I verify my new session with another, or I enter my passphrase. It is what you will see when you will log in a new device. So how does it work with the passphrase? So by entering the passphrase, basically I can extract the private part of all my keys. Therefore, I will be able to self-verify all of them. And that's why I can trust the keys and see that all the other users are trusted on this new device. And how does it work with self-verification? So this works because I will verify my new device with the old one. This is done thanks to the QR code or the SAS verification. And by doing that, I will be able to trust the device and the master key, and I will establish a trust chain. And therefore, I trust everything. And this is what is happening now currently. If you sign in on a new device, on the first device, it will tell you that you have an unverified device. And on the other one, it will tell you to complete. You see the code, you scan, and you're done. Maybe I will, I hope it's not too complex, I heard nothing. The next thing is, here there is a detail, is that the mobile is actually read-only, because it do not have access to the private keys. So I can see that my devices are green, but the other users that I trust are green. But for now, I cannot yet trust other devices. This is solved by a system we call gossiping. So how gossiping works, it's basically one of my devices can request a secret to another one. So this is done by sending a request secret, For example, here I'm requesting for the self-signing key, and the other device will send it back encrypted to me only, and then I will have also the private key. So there are some limitations on gossiping. Gossiping is allowed basically just after you're verified. And that's it.
Thank you.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you, Belair. Honestly, this is the most coherent explanation in sort of human non-MSc terse spec terms than we've seen yet. And it certainly stopped us arguing with one another about how to solve it. So, yay.
Yeah, but by reading it, I thought it was complex. I hope it was not.
Cool. Where should we go now?
Do you last?
Okay, shall we do a P2P demo? Luckily, I prepared this perfectly. Let me go and jump on the Jitsi and screen share. What is our Jitsi? What we did was to try to rerun the failed P2P demo from Volston, which you may recall had a QR code at the beginning of the screen that was wrong and linked, or should have linked to this URL. And what it gives you is basically a Docker to run, which is Dendrite P2P demo. This actually just pulls in a write on port 80 exposed on 8082, and a Dendrite, a Postgres on 5432 exposed on 8081. So this was just a quick way to get a Postgres and a write up and running. Then separately, you run a Dendrite, or you go and snag a Dendrite from GitHub, and you then just go and run the resulting Dendrite process, not in Docker, but on the machine itself. And the reason for this is so that it can talk multicast DNS to the local network, which, unlike FOSDEM, we have multicast enabled on the office LAN here. So you can then go and connect on port 8081 via HTTP to, no, sorry, that's it. You telling it to connect to Postgres on confusing 8081, which is actually the database thing. And then you point your browser at the write that is running there. So I think I've already got one of these running somewhere. And if I just go through all my tabs and try to find her, it looks a bit like this. So right now on the network, it can see 4 other peers. It's worth noting that when we started doing this earlier, we had the same failure mode as we had on stage at FOSDEM, and then magically it suddenly started working and we don't know why. So it's frustrating. If we tried a little bit harder, we probably would have got it to work on stage. But anyway, this is the Dendrite sitting here, going and discovering the other peers, finding one room, advertising one there. If I also go and try to find the right one of my many, many different riots, I'm not even logged into it. So let's go on to, was it 8082, I think? And I explore. Now I can go and select the room list here, which has got a room called Matthew Test in it. And it's, like all the best demos, not accessible at this time. Right, so what I'm going to do is create a new room, make it public, and say, hello world. And I'm hoping that this will have turned up in the room directory. I know, beside, again, like in FOSDEM, I haven't published the bloody thing. So let me go and actually publish it. Now say, okay, guys, where are you? And hopefully some combination of Travis or Ryan or Dave or anybody else is going to be able to actually participate in this. Okay, well, this is, so we've found 2 rooms. We've advertised 2 rooms. We've got 4 peers here. It's got a dial back off. So I'm monitoring whether the fact that I've gone and had my laptop shut or something is confused. So I'm just going to kill the Dendrite and set it running again, like so.
Also, the pub sub for the channels, I think, happens every 10 seconds at the moment. So it's not usually instant that it shows up in other rooms, but it does tend to happen eventually.
Okay, thanks, Neil. Hopefully, somebody out there is going to see that this is so frustrating. As in, if you look at what was happening earlier, you know, here's the, well, except I got kicked out of that room, didn't I? So we can't even see what was happening earlier. What was happening earlier is that we were like 5 of us all happily chatting away and it was working perfectly. Oh, there's Brendan's test cave, which I'm going to join. Brendan, is that you? Yes! So it's actually, let me go and zoom in so you can actually see what's going on here. It's actually working not too bad at all. Once you're actually in, yeah, oh my God's P2P, turns out it's pretty snappy and awesome. You don't have piping notifications because I don't think that, no, it does exist, but it's not part of the monolith, or there's some other reason why it's not hooked up properly. But if you have a lot of people sitting side by side, particularly without internet access, like we have in Eurostar, it's really cool. But as you can see, there's something with the discovery which is going a little bit caca, and it needs a bit more work. Since FOSDEM, we've been working on improving Dendrite full stop. So I think Neil Alexander has been looking at rooms v2, or versioning rooms and state res v2. And Keegan has been going through killing off Postgres, or at least providing SQLite as an alternative to Postgres, rather than trying to fix the B2B stuff. But on the plus side, you can see we're not making this up. It does actually work. And there's Brendan in the testing room too. Hello. Cool. So there we go. This is what we should have shown. Modulo, slightly more polished. Next.